TV. It's another edition of News Review. I am your host, Ojuayo Adelere, and with me in the studio today I have...
I'm Ambassador Rochi Morillo, son of the prophetess, the man. Where is Mbuke? Good afternoon to all of us all over the world.
You're welcome today to the studio, and a big shout out to our sponsor, because our sponsor still remains Nokpa Abs. Nokpa, thank you for always staying true to us because it is not easy, even in this regime that we have. It is not easy, but thank you for always staying true for us. And we also thank our CEO in person of Prince Dr. Noah Adeleke Oshindi Ajala Kusagba,
the transformer for those
boys and girls that are living in darkness.
So you always include all these girls, eh?
Yes, because even ladies are also in darkness now. It's just that most of us do not know that we're in darkness.
Okay, I see a lot of places.
It's like a transformer that is supplying light to everybody. Thank you so very much for joining us, and all our fans out there for always staying through. Thank you so much. You know how we did on this show, we bring to you news that made it to the top. We go on a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll discuss the one we should talk about. And we will not be the only one talking. You can also drop your own comments in the comment section as we move on. Alright, first on this, I have Punch newspaper. Olubadan, Ladoja Kingsmakers Enfield to nominate Olakuleyin. Tinubu support groups distribute 50,000 food packs. No case of Lassa fever in Kogi, says commissioner. Kogi governor signs 30 billion naira contracts for erosion control. On the Vanguard newspaper, I have just seen federal government declares Thursday additional holiday for Eid el-Fitr. I won't drag power with Obaseki, Edo deputy governor on mobile. Energy crisis. More problems for households, others as cooking gas price soars. Court remands Emefiele in EFCC custody. On the Nation newspaper, we have Bayana vows to overturn Falcons in race to Parade 2024. Lagos community gets solar street lights. IPAC pledges loyalty to Abiodun. And on Tribune newspaper, we have, of course, Nigerians commend CBN Governor Cardoso over Naira appreciation. Borno, NGO seeks media support for integration of de-radicalized terrorists. And lastly, we have offline payments remain cornerstone of Nigeria's economic ecosystem, Credometer. These are the news that made it to the top. Let's go on a short commercial break. When we're back, we'll talk on the one we feel we should discuss. Don't go nowhere. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
When life breaks into the beautiful splendor of nature, and the kids can't just resist the temptation to explore to its zenith with the full assurance that the perfect backup is on the way for a perfect refilling. Nokpa, we always come to the rescue anytime, anywhere, any day, anyway, anyhow, round the clock. The family just can't get a better companion aside Nokpa. Nokpa Abba Mixture, the family's best bet.
With Nokpa, healthy living is guaranteed for me and my family.
With Nokpa for management of power.
You're welcome back from that short commercial break. It is still our sponsor, Nokpa. Like I said, yours is to order, ours is to do what we should give it to you the way you want it. Just which one do you want? Nokpa Abba Mixture, Akpa Abba Cool, Abba Tonic,
Abba Bitter,
Abba Energy Flusher, Abba Energy Powder, anything about, just send in a DM or call the number that is showing on your screen. All right, we have Olubadan, Ladoja Kingsmaker Enfield to nominate Olakuleyin. That is the crisis between the chief makers and Ladoja. About Olubadan position.
Let me say it's a welcome idea for them to have settled the dispute between both of them. I believe by now they've allowed peace to reign in the land of Ibadan.
Yeah.
And what I heard, according to the story, was that it was being programmed. After this person in question now, another person who is next to become the king has been set aside. They all know themselves. So why is it that why is it that they are allowing this matter to escalate? And let's thank God that the whole matter has been resolved.
And also they actually settle the matter on a good one. Not that I just said, let's just settle, let it go,
Let's settle it and let it go. At the end of the day, things will begin to go wrong again.
The Otun Olubadan of Ibadan land, High Chief Rashid Ladoja, is set to withdraw his legal action against the Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde and the late Olubadan of Ibadan land, Obalekan Balogun, over the elevation of 10 Ibadan High Chiefs to beaded crowns wearing obas. The Punch reliably gathered on Monday. He will also convene a meeting of the Olubadan in council for the nomination of the Olubadan designate Oba Olabi Olakuleyin as the 43rd Olubadan of Ibadan land on Thursday. The Punch reported that Ladoja, in a suit filed before the State High Court in Ibadan in July 2023, also joined the 10 Obas as defendants. It will also be recalled that Makinde approved their elevation from the High Chiefs to Obas, following the recommendation of the late Olubadan, Oba Balogun. If you look at this Olubadan title in Ibadan, you see that most of the kings that are there, they don't really live long like that, because they are
almost old before they are being ordained as a king.
And if you want me to choose, I would say actually not because I'm from that.
You know, it's a program. It has been programmed the way it was in Ibadan. It has been programmed, so you don't expect a young guy to emerge as the Olubadan, because those are the in question that are lining behind that small boy. You know, before you get to know, most of them would have been dead before the young guy died on the throne.
If you check some states, like some states, I don't want to start mentioning states. If you see the number of years that their king uses on
that one is different from Olubadan.
No, I'm not saying Olubadan. I'm not saying from even the Alaafin of Oyo. I think the Baba used almost more than 50 years
the man got old
on throne. But I think the something that is attached to that Olubadan cities, they don't use young people for that seat. They use elderly people because of Ibadan itself is a vast area. They believe
the elderly ones has the wisdom to rule the affairs of
so
when
people. Last year, when the High Chief Rashid Ladoja, former governor of Oyo State, came out and he said he does not want the seat of any other king apart from Olubadan of Ibadan. I can remember vividly that year. I said, are you praying for Olubadan to die?
To die, for you to have come out and say you are the next person.
And even Olubadan even elevated some of the chiefs, and they wanted to elevate him. He said, I don't want any other seat apart from that Olubadan seat. And even Olubadan came out then, the late king said, is it that you want me to die? 10 years today, I'm still standing, not even knowing that the Olubadan is already closer to death. Death is already knocking at his door. But now that Olubadan, the late Olubadan died, I felt when I said that Rashid Ladoja should emerge, but they said that is not how it is arranged. Even after Olakuleyin, there is another person
that is lining behind him.
Rashid Ladoja
from the fourth generation to the fourth generation, they all knew who is going to emerge.
So Rashid Ladoja just have to, is either you take the king that they want to give you, or you just stay as the High Chief, the eldest chief in Ibadan land. Yes. All right, I won't drag power with Obaseki, Edo Deputy Governor Omobayo Godwins, the newly sworn-in Deputy Governor. I think this is how everybody used to say when they want to get in power.
You know, he's a very young guy, or a guy of 38 years. So he has nothing to offer or to do or to say out than to say he's ready to take the task and work in line with his the directive of his boss. Well, everybody goes to that seat. Everybody, whenever you have been appointed into a post, will you swear by heaven and earth that you are going to do nothing but for the progress of that seat or for the progress of that post. Along the line, before you get to know, things will change because they believe they are being cheated by their boss. And everybody has the right to say or to express his or her feelings out. And most of the problem that I think is occurring in those seats, you remember it happens in Ondo State when the former president, the former governor of Ondo State, Akeredolu was alive. When he came back from Germany, where he went for his medical treatment, he was supposed to give to transfer the affairs of that state to the deputy But what happened? He stays right in Ibadan, ruling the affairs of Ondo State right from Ibadan.
Exactly.
I was so ashamed when his lawyer even came out that there was no constitution that is denying him of staying in Ibadan, of ruling the affairs of Ondo State. Now, when they now meant the pressure, when the pressure persists, what happened? There was a gathering of the state assembly there that the deputy governor is going to be impeached. At the end of the day, the president intervened.
Who should be impeached if we are to look at it?
The governor himself should be impeached.
Once you are
because
not
it's health.
I feel it is in the constitution. You hand over to the deputy governor to stand. Even if the president of Nigeria will be traveling out of the country for a long period of time, he hands over to the vice president.
Yeah, you remember when President Muhammadu Buhari traveled abroad for his medical treatment. He handed over to Oshibadi.
And when he came back, he handed over back to him. But I think all those people, once they are in power, they don't even want to know who is behind them.
And when you look at the main source there, you could see that it was money matter.
It is money matter.
Yes, that it was money matter that is causing all this disagreement between the boss and his deputy.
All right, the newly sworn-in deputy governor of Edo State, Omobayo Godwins, has pledged his unalloyed loyalty to his principal, saying he will not drag power with Governor Obaseki. Godwins made this pledge in an interview on Channels Television's Politics on Monday. Governor Obaseki and Godwins are expected to work together before the end of the governor's 8-year double term on November 12, 2016. The 38-year-old Godwins said he's learning on the job and won't hesitate to do all that his principal instructs him to do. He said, whatever he says I should is what I will do. He knows my strengths, so I will dwell on my strengths when it comes to adding value. Politically, I am learning on the job. Do you think this man can actually stay true to what he said?
Well, you know, a human being cannot be predicted by their words. You understand what I say? Each day that passes by, you see different people with different characters.
Yeah, you
remember what happened in River State and what is going on in River State presently when the ex-governor of River State, that's my brother, Wike. When they brought in Fubara, he campaigned for Fubara, that is the best man, is the right choice for the people. At the end of the day, when Fubara emerged as the governor of that state, not knowing there was a secret agreement between both of them, even between those people that emerged that are working for the progress of that state.
Yeah.
I believe when it was like Fubara was trying to deprive Wike of what they both agreed on, what happened? The whole matter escalated.
Yes, it will escalate. So there is nothing you actually do in secret that will not come to open one day, whether you like it or not. No matter how good you are at covering secrets, a day will come. The secrets will be made known to everybody. Because when Wike and Fubara were making those promises, nobody knew. That you are brother to Wike. You do not know. You did not know anything. Not until came outside.
Everything
so I just hope this man, Omobayo Godwins, will be able to stay true to what he said till November. Everything is going to end by November. So I just hope he's going to stay true to what he is making promise on, because it is easy to make promise, but it is difficult to actually fulfill that promise.
Fulfill the promise.
All right. This one, it says, court remands Emefiele in EFCC custody.
Well, you know, Emefiele is still on trial. And when you look at the Nigerian law, any Nigerian law that has been pushed out, the Nigerian law normally, it works on the poor, not on those people that they believe they consider themselves untouchable.
Yeah.
Now, if Emefiele was a neutral person, for instance, now a man was arrested of stealing a cup of rice.
Okay.
Immediately he was charged to court. The following day, he was prosecuted.
Yeah.
They had to send him to, I think, 6 months in prison
because of a cup of rice.
For stealing a cup of rice. Somebody stole billions of naira. At the end of the day, they said they should go and pay 100,000 naira out of billions of naira that they swallowed.
As what?
As a fine. And the person was discharged and acquitted. So when you look at the judiciary system, you remember a military man came out that the judiciary system should be scrapped because they are jeopardizing their effort. They will put all their energy and effort to go together. They go through all those threats of going inside that Sambisa forest. After neutralizing those terrorists, they hand over to the police will now take them to court. At the end of the day, those terrorists will be seen outside roaming about the street. About the street. Why is it that they are not putting their energy? Do you know how many of our military men that died in the process, and they are still dying till date? At the end of the day, court will just say, let them go. I believe let's ask a question let's throw this question to the audience. Okay. It was like there are some set of people that we call cabal. Yeah. That said themselves that they were the one behind all this kidnapping and terrorism also. If the government knows them and they are not doing anything about it, automatically this country will never move forward.
I don't want to dispute the fact that the government actually knows those that are in charge of all this banditry and all that, because for a old Gumi to come out and say let me go and negotiate with the bandit, how come they didn't know those bandits? How come they didn't know their leader? And I believe Gumi will not go and meet those bandits. They will go and meet those leaders, the initiator of that group. Of course. And if I can remember vividly, it was during Muhammadu Buhari's tenure that the new vice president of Nigeria, Kashim Shettima, was seen dining with all these bandits.
So
I wouldn't want to dispute the fact that the government does not know where they are. They know where they are. So if somebody actually tells me that they are being sponsored by the government, say I'm going to stand by the person that you're actually saying the truth. But now that back to Emefiele's case, I think Emefiele just wants to be a scapegoat. He wants to be treated as a scapegoat.
It depends on the federal government, because at the end of the day, you see them detain Emefiele today, tomorrow getting his bail. At the end of the day, they will say Emefiele has been discharged and acquitted because he was following some orders.
Yeah, they said he has been following some orders, but Muhammadu Buhari came out and they denied the fact that I didn't give him the order.
They didn't give him the order when he was invited by the Senate. Why did he refuse to show up? He said the president said he should not show up.
The president is now denying him. That he did not say something like that. The seal, according to what former President Muhammadu Buhari said then, Gabar Shehu, he said the seal that was on the letter was not for Buhari. It was a manipulated one. That everything they did was something that they... So now Emefiele is facing another 26 count charges. Fresh one, that is apart from the ones that he's facing in Abuja. He's facing this one in Lagos.
Another one in Lagos. Okay.
So now $4.5 billion, 2.7 billion naira.
Let us wait and see what the pregnant night will give back to. I believe all eye on the judiciary.
I just hope they will be able to bring out a fair justice on this one. The embattled former Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) Governor Godwin Emefiele has been remanded in the custody of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC). Mr. Emefiele was arraigned at the Lagos High Court Ikeja on Monday before Justice Rahman Oshodi for alleged abuse of office and irregular allocation of $4.5 billion and 2.8 billion naira respectively.
These people, they in fact,
his co-defendant,
they ruin the affairs of this country.
Omole was remanded in Ikoyi Correctional Center. They are both being held pending the determination of their bail application and commencement of trial on April 11, 2024. The ex-bank governor was arraigned alongside Mr. Omole. They both pleaded not guilty to the 26 count charges levied against them. I have never seen anybody arrested and they will tell you that they are actually guilty of what they are charging them.
But Bobrisky did so.
No, Bobrisky.
That was 2 days ago.
I'm talking about politicians.
Okay,
sorry, we are in politics. I'm talking about this for Bobrisky's case. You know, Bobrisky would want to plead, even if I were to plead Bobrisky.
You know their lawyer. Most of the problems we're having is some of their lawyers will not tell them the truth based on the salary or the money that was being given to them by the politicians. They will even be the one to tell those politicians what to say.
Yes.
This is what you are going to say. This is what you are going to say. If the question is going beyond that, you keep quiet and let me.
I've seen a case whereby the lawyer told the defendant to actually do as if he's having
mental. And
they actually took
the person
to the hospital.
Many of our politicians
and they ran many tests and they brought it out that this person is a psychiatric patient. And at the end of the day, the case was...
Who ran those tests?
The doctors and they were given...
If that happened in China, those doctors and their
lawyers would lose their license.
Apart from losing their, would have been executed.
This this is what the things that we're celebrating in Nigeria that we're not supposed to be doing. And if such a doctor refuses to do something like that, at the end of the day,
the doctor might end up living his life.
So Nigeria, we can actually do better, and don't let us be comparing Nigeria with other countries, because other countries are far better than us. And what we are doing, we are not even doing quarter of what they are doing for their citizens. If Nigeria stands up today, now the said President Bola Ahmed Tinubu shared 50,000 food for those that are in need. Me, I'm in need though. Me, I did not say food though. So who were the 50,000 people that were giving this?
That were giving
obviously, we know Nigeria.
We know that those people that were there in question were those politicians that voted them in.
So we that we did not vote you in, we that we voted you in, that we did not see food to, what should we do? No problem. This is how we'll be ending the show news review today. Do not forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, on our Facebook, on our YouTube, on our X account, on our Instagram, on our TikTok at Wisdom Yard Online TV. And thank you to our sponsor, Nokba Abbas, for always staying through. I remain my humble self, Oduayo Adelere. Thank you for joining me in the studio, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Until we come again next time, be happy and be good. Bye.